Welcome back to my channel and my 10-part series, How to Start Your Own Medical Billing Business. Today, we're in video number 5, guys, halfway there, and we are going to go over contracts with providers. Video 5 of 10, Contract with Providers. It's important to know that when you are starting your own medical billing business, your contract is going to be a big deal. It needs to be looked over and approved by your local healthcare or business lawyer before you put it into use. That's for your own protection. You can have a lawyer do the whole contract for you if that's what you choose to do, you don't have time, or if you need to save money, you can write the contract yourself and then take it to your lawyer for a review and approval. The latter option is cheaper because even though you're still going to have to engage a lawyer per my recommendation, the lawyer does less work so you don't pay them as much. But in the end, it will cost money. You need a lawyer. If you make a contract and you decide not to engage a local lawyer to protect yourself or your business, and you find yourself in a legal bind in the future, I want you to think about me. And I want you to remember what I said about this part of the business startup. Usually, many billing companies have multiple documents that a client will need to sign. So there are 3 big documents that usually somebody signs when they're engaging a new medical billing business. And that is going to be a non-disclosure agreement, a business associate agreement, and the service contract itself. What is a non-disclosure agreement? A non-disclosure agreement for medical offices protects against unethical and professional disclosure of patients' personal and medical information gathered in the process of treatment or research or medical billing. A business associate agreement is a legal contract between a healthcare provider and an individual or organization, such as a medical billing business, that will receive access to transmit or store protected health information, which is PHI, as part of its services for the provider. So you fall under that, and that is why you need it, because you will be a medical billing business. You will have access to all of that information. You will be transmitting it. You will be storing it in your cloud sometimes for certain reasons, and so you'll need to have that agreement in place. And of course, the service contract. Service contract means a contract that directly engages the time and effort of a contractor whose primary purpose is to perform an identifiable task rather than to furnish an in item of supply. So a service contract may be either a non-personal or a personal contract. So what you and I are doing as medical billers, we are performing an identifiable task, right? We're billing. We're not putting up a fence or putting in a pool in the backyard. We're performing a task. We're doing services. And that is why you will need a service contract for medical billing. So sometimes I will do an assessment of the records before I get the billing contracts. So in order for me to get into the potential client's records and look through all of their stuff and see what's going on, I need to legally bind myself and give the potential client some peace of mind by agreeing to privacy before I get into the actual billing contract part. So that is why, and that is when I will use a non-disclosure agreement and a business associate agreement without actually having them as a client, just so that I can get into their information initially to do the assessment. So I have all 3, but if you have been following me since the beginning, you know that I like to overprotect myself. So my contract, my actual service contract, is a little overkill, but that's the way I like it, guys. The contract needs to cover you and your business completely. But there are 7 things your contract must include, and I'll go over that now. Who the contract is between you and your client. What your billing service, subcontractors, or subsidiaries will provide to the client. What your billing business requires from your client in order to fulfill the contract accurately. Like what type of information, when do they need to give it to you, how do they need to transfer it to you, and what type of secured ways, things like that. So make sure that their duty and their obligations that you require of them are plainly stated in the contract so that their failure to do something properly on their end doesn't come back to you. You can say, listen, you got a data breach because you sent that information snail mail and you put hospital information on the back of it. I told you to put it into the Dropbox. We told you to transfer it via the secured portal this way and you did it a different way. Do you see what I'm saying? So make sure your requirements for them is also in the contract. What your charges and fees will be. What legal, data, and or physical protections your business will provide your clients extremely sensitive and confidential information. So that's generally like, what type of systems do you use? Are they HIPAA compliant? Do you have insurance? And do you have E&O insurance? Do you have liability? Do you have data protections? Do you have software security? That type of stuff. Contract termination terms and conditions. How are they legally able to terminate a contract? How are you able to terminate your contract? What is the time frame you require? Do you require notification? Are there special circumstances? You determine that in your contract. Signatures of agreement of both parties. So make sure there's a place for you guys to sign, obviously, to bind yourself to that contract. You can always add more depending on what your lawyers say, but those are the basics that you cannot leave out of your service contract. I recommend making a custom contract for your business. I used a little bit of information from many places, from many sources I found online, from competitors when I started out. And then after I shoestringed it all together and copied a little here, copied a little there, thought about a little things and added it myself, I got legal advice once I did most of my own legwork. It took me a lot of time and money because I started out, like I said, on a shoestring budget. You all know what I always say. In order to start a medical billing business, you will either have time or money. You will spend a lot of time researching, learning how to figure out how to do this business, how to create your marketing material, how to design your website, how to create and practice your sales pitches, or you will pay someone to do it all for you. But you are going to need one or the other. So take an assessment of your personal situation and determine what that will be. Either you're going to do it and you're going to take the time to do all of it, or you're going to pay someone to do it for you, because it will always be one or the other. So to recap, you can create your own custom contract, or you can get the whole thing done by a lawyer. It's up to you. I have a template billing contract on my website for purchase if you want to use that. But I still want you to customize it for your business, as well as take it to your lawyer for review and approval for your personal billing business, okay? So even if you choose to go to my website and download the template that I used, I still want you to customize it, read it, change things, and then I still want you to take it to your lawyer. So now you know what to do and what to create or have made. If you want to connect with me for a private mentoring, go to my website at thejadedmedicalbiller.com and book a private session with me. In the next video, I will go over marketing. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss that one, because that is the biggest issue my students face. And I will go over how to best navigate that hurdle and get the most out of your marketing. See you next time.